Hello everyone and welcome to a very late edition of the Top 5.
Step off, let's get the next one and nothing to kill. You don't believe it, but I'm betting that you will. Step off, I'll let you live a little bit with the pain that I bring, you know.
I'm your host as always, Jason Kingdom, and next to me is
Danny Demize.
the returning Danny Demize after work. We're going to get through these as quickly as we can, the top 5, because we've got a question to answer. So my top 5 good points of this week are Eric Young finally getting the push he deserves in TNA, forming the World Elite. Crime Time at last getting a tag team title opportunity. Melina beating Michelle McCool on SmackDown. I enjoyed that, but that one was just for me, probably. Shaquille O'Neal hosting Raw. Kind of liked it. And by far my number one good point of the week is Jeff Hardy versus John Morrison for the World Heavyweight title on SmackDown, which you haven't seen, by the way.
I didn't.
You didn't. But it was, for all of us who have seen it, ace match, first class. And my bad points now. Bad points, number 5 is Cena getting a title shot again. If it was Triple H, I would still have it in this list. It's the same old thing. Why couldn't we have MVP, Swagger, or Henry? Somebody different. Number 4 is more main event Mafia promo. Oh. TNA's 2-hour long program, and the wrestling's about 10 minutes. Big Show being Jericho's partner is at number 3. I'm still a bit cheesed off with that, but oh well. Number 2, I was watching TNA on Saturday and Don West commentary. I can't. I would rather listen to a sheep. I'm sorry. You know, him being a heel. He's just putting too much on the heel. And my number 1 has to be Brian Kendrick. I know the story's bad attitude and all that, but Brian, we're there with you, bud. Hope you do well, whatever you do. Really
TNA.
Danny, over to you.
My good points of the week, my 5 good points. Number 5 was Shaquille O'Neal hosting Raw. It was a really good Raw. I enjoyed that Raw, to be honest. Number 4, Crime Time getting the push. They've had a push before, but as you can remember, they didn't really win it. Number 3, Elijah Burke getting a contract with TNA. He's going to get a push there. Hopefully, yeah. Evan Bourne will win over Jack Swagger. Number 2, amazing match. And number 1, the best thing to happen, and I knew it'd happen, Chris Masters returning to Raw, to WWE. I told you when he left that he'd be back. And my bad 5 points. Number 5, MVP losing the clock to Masters, but never mind, eh? I like your MVP. That's why I said it's
But
bad.
not as much as Masters.
But Masters, yeah. Number 4, Raw. It's not as good as what it was. It used to be excellent. Now it's gone downhill. Number 3, WWE not signed P.T. Williams yet. Come on, WWE, get off your chest.
Yeah, but do you think you'll be allowed to do the Canadians Destroy Down? I doubt it. Somehow.
Yes. Number 2, using people like Mike Knox and not Jamie Noble, not pushing William Regal, not
Paul Burchill,
Katie Lee Burchill. Come on, guys. And number 1, the epic release of Brian Kendrick.
Like we said before, hope you do well, whatever you're doing, Brian.
Hopefully see you on TNA. Hopefully.
Yeah.
And then in a year's time back on WWE.
Yeah. Now, we've got a question from TNA. TNA 123456 is back. He knows who he is. He's going to be a guest on our show one day when he comes down. But he wanted to know what we think who would win out of a match between Austin and Hogan.
This is tough.
Danny, what do you think? It is a bit tough. We're going to have a talk between us both now.
My prediction, if this match came to light, my prediction would be this. You could have it at next year's SummerSlam. I reckon it'll be a battle between both contestants there. It'll be a really epic battle. Out of like desperation, Austin will do the stunner on Hogan. They'll be both down, and all of a sudden you'll either hear Chris Jericho's music or Randy Orton will return as the Legend Killer if Legacy breaks up in that time, and I think that it'll lead to a rivalry at WrestleMania. Probably, if it's Jericho, Austin and Jericho. If it's Randy, then probably Randy and Austin. I can't see Hogan doing it again. What about yourself?
It's tough. It's tough, and I was talking to you before we made this video, didn't we? It was tough to decide, and I think the only place they could do it is on the grand stage. I think it's too big for SummerSlam. It's too big for any other than WrestleMania. It has to be done on WrestleMania. Icon versus icon. You know, icon of the early 80s, early 90s, then Austin being the Attitude icon. And it's a tough one to say.
Can I stop you there? If you go at WrestleMania, you do realise Hogan has to win.
Yeah, not necessarily, but...
Trust me, he's not going to play ball to lose at WrestleMania.
Here's if Vince kicks him up the arse. You know, it's a load of money, like Danny said. Probably Hogan would win and all that, but it's a tough one to decide. Me, myself, being an Austin mark, I would have to go Austin, obviously. I would hope he just annihilates Hogan. 17 stunners would do me fine, but I think Hogan would get into his hissy fit and go, "Well, I'm not losing to Austin. I'm the biggest entertainer around here. I'm the one who made the business." And I hold my hands up. Hogan did make the business. I don't care if you don't like him, you do like him. He made pro wrestling in them early days. But when somebody else takes over and comes to be bear, you know, you've got to sometimes learn to
pass the torch on. But can I stop you there? I have a confession now. I wasn't around watching wrestling whilst the Austin era was around. I wasn't alive when the Hogan era was around. I've only just currently started getting into wrestling about...
This man started at WrestleMania 21.
I did used to watch it like a couple of times when I was about 5, but I more or less got Sky myself at like WrestleMania 21. That was my first pay-per-view, so I wasn't really there, so I can't really tell, but as far as I can tell, Austin's near enough on the same page as Hogan, I'd say.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would go for Austin myself. Who are you going for?
I'm going for a disqualification.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know. I reckon it'll be a disqualification. Hogan wins the match, because I reckon either Jericho or Randy will attack Austin.
Right. Okay then. I hope that answers your question, Rich. TNA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Get it right.
He's back. Yeah, get it right. Oh, well, you got my name wrong enough times. So we will see you all for the wrestling report.
We will on a Wednesday. Stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't be late.
Hopefully it won't be late. No. And we'll see you all then. So have a good night and whatever you're doing.
See you then. Good
Bye.
night.